What is up, guys? MattWic here. We are back in NHL 24 testing the draft, and we have a big season ahead of us with some big storylines that have developed over the last couple of years. We were unable last year to defend our three Stanley Cups, so we were going for our fourth. And then, boys, we may have hit a wall in terms of contracts. I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. It is going to be an interesting season, to be sure. We might have to do a reset season and start building for a couple years down the road, but let's get into the lines and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so these are the lines that we have rocking into this season. It's not terrible. We do have some depth. I am a little worried about our goal scoring, though. Fred Goligoski is really one of the only snipers I believe we have on the team. I think, Kostitsyn's not either. He might be the only sniper. Okay, Jaskin is there as well, but very limited in terms of what we're going to be able to produce offensively. Hopefully, Goligoski can have another huge season. I believe he had a 60-goal season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 62-goal season, so he definitely has it in him, and he's played great the last 2 years, so nothing I can really complain about there. Show you guys real quick, because this is something I was looking at before we got into this, is pretty much where our players came from. So you see Squeen there, pretty early on draft pick, first rounder there from us. Goligoski was actually a 6th round pick. Dude developed like an absolute animal. I made a video on him. If you haven't seen that, go check that out back in the archives. Joe Wesley, a nice little 1st round pick there, early first. Lee Brust was actually a guy taken in the 7th round, but then some weird stuff happened with the save. Had to redo that draft again, and I just said, F it, let's just take him, why not? So he's actually picked in the 4th round, but he did go in the 7th whenever he was originally drafted. Not by us, I may add. Brock Ladd, one of our earliest guys that we have on the team. Kostitsyn is another guy, 2nd rounder there, nice little pick. Jaskin going to get, I believe, his first year in the NHL here. Yeah, he hasn't played in the NHL yet, played in the AHL last year, had a good season, so we will see. He's coming over from Russia, so he's making quite the jump, but we have a few players on this team who are already making quite the jump. Norinen, a player from another team, Arizona Coyotes. Kip Whitman, an early first. Little disappointing so far that he's only an 80 overall, but we're going to try to maybe see if we can find some more minutes for him somewhere. That top 6 right now is just so hard to crack, and he's been in that bottom 6 role for these last couple of years. Chance Standard is a guy we got from a trade. I believe we got rid of one of our goaltenders that we had an abundance of to bring him over. Decent little player, has some good stats. Tristan Lawson, late 1st round pick there, and then our boy Ricky Friggin, who we took last year in the 2nd round. He is going to get a chance to play in the NHL. The North Korean tandem of him and his brother Braden, and Braden's going to get some more minutes this year. He played well last year, so we're going to bump him up to that 2nd pairing, just because our defense is a little bit weaker. We lost some guys due to cap issues. So we're going to see what he can do. He's still playing 2nd power play. Brian Patrick was our legend, 1st draft pick of this team. What a beast. Sergei Malkin we brought in. He was actually picked the year after Brian was taken, but we brought him in because I figured 2 offensive defensemen, absolutely studs. Isaac Wellwood, 2nd round pick there. Wyatt Harima was actually our most recent 1st round pick that we took last year. So he hopefully is a bit of a stud, or 2 years ago, I'm not sure with him. And then UC Curry is our finally rounding it out there from the Carolina Hurricanes. I believe we picked up maybe in a free agency or a trade, I cannot remember. Maxwell Sawatsky, our Stanley Cup winning goaltender. Great, weirdly great stats on him. If you'll notice, that angles the breakaway in the 5-hole exceptionally well as his recover and rebound control, as well as that vision too, all up in the 90s. So I think that gives him quite the boost, even though he's only an 83 overall, plays probably more like an 86 with those big stats. And Acheem Hummel I brought in just recently on a trade because our backup was a 79 overall. So I went through the league, looked for someone that I can get for a cheap pick, and he was actually he's actually the Pittsburgh Penguins picks. I saw Pittsburgh there, but he was actually the Pittsburgh Penguins 7th round pick. So this guy has come a long way to get to an 81 overall. But you can see he also follows a similar archetype to our starter there, where he has a couple stats that are just really, really good. And then the big thing is that speed and vision are stuff, things that I look for, as well as that recover and rebound control. So we'll see. The poise does scare me a little bit, only being 69, as well as that poke check. So we'll see if he's able to step it up for us there. And then scratch, we got our undrafted enforcer, Seth Ald, who we'll see might get some minutes in there if Ricky Friggin struggles a bit. I know playing offense comparatively to defense can be a little different, so we'll see how the North Korean superstar tandem does. 19-year-old for Braden, and Ricky at 18 years old, so definitely a big task for them. Let's get into a month of simulation, see how we're doing, and I'll let you boys back in. All right, guys, so here we are 2 months now into the season, and as I feared, we are kind of a middling NHL team right now. We can't be dominant for so long without coming back down to earth a little bit. It's not terrible. 11, 10, and 2, you know, we had some good stretches in there, some bad stretches as well. One thing I did notice is one of our North Korean superstars is struggling a little bit, while one is actually playing pretty well, which is a little bit surprising. So you'll see Fred Goligoski leading the team right now, 11 goals, 12 assists, Brian Patrick behind him, Lee Brust, Wesley, and Malkin there as well. One thing I'm going to show you here, boys, don't get too scared, don't get too upset here, but I mean, I'll show you one thing too that kind of scared me as well. So Braden Friggin, our North Korean superstar who played really well last year, struggling a little bit this year. Now, he's not the only one on defense, even on forwards. We're having some bad lines, so we did make some changes. Braden has been bumped down back to the third pairing to see. For some reason, he's playing 20 minutes Ignite on the ice. I don't know why. I mean, he's playing second line, top four defense. He's playing power play second unit, and then he's playing just the bottom pairing on every like penalty kill because you have to have 3 defensive pairing lines, and he's not playing any 4-on-4, 3-on-3. So I don't know how he's up to 20 minutes. I don't know if maybe he's just so tired and he can't get off the ice and he's just getting killed out there. But I mean, 3 goals in 23 games. Let's take a look. How did he do last year? He's almost at his total that he hit last year with 5. Let's hope that he can bring the plus minus down. Still a great disciplined guy, 0 penalty minutes, so we'd love to see that. But his brother, though, let's see if we can find him here on this list, is doing pretty well. And don't forget, he was only playing, he's only playing 8 minutes a night on the fourth line, not doing a whole lot down there. And like I said, one thing I was worried about was goals. 23 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 penalty minutes, so he's disciplined just like his brother. You know, they came from that North Korean heritage. They know how to lock in, boys. 0 on the plus minus, so I was like, okay. Other guys, big minuses on there. So Kostitsin was one of the guys, 4 goals, 6 assists, playing a lot more minutes a night. Bumped him down to the fourth line. We now have Ricky Friggin playing on our second line. So we'll see if he can bring some offense. The big 61 overall second round pick. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. But yeah, so far we're a little disappointing. So we'll see how far we make it into this video, if we want to make it to the playoffs or if we want to stop the trade deadline, because we might have some big questions to answer, and I want your guys' opinion on that. And guys, as always, make sure to comment your thoughts on the video. Leave a like on the video. It helps a lot. I really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you want more. Let's get a couple more months in and see how we're doing. All right, guys, so another month in, and yeeks, the experiment did not work out too well from us. 15, 19, and 2. We have a little bit of a disappointment here, so I already switched up the lines again. Braden Friggin, I mean, he gave us a good effort. I appreciate the will and determination that he laid out there on the ice. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points so far, but -6. You know, he went from a 0 all the way down to that in 1 month. So we are going to try something different. Ernesto Hickey, who we drafted in 2031 with our first round pick, I don't think he's ever gotten time in the NHL yet. Yeah, he's played in the minors his whole career. He's put up some good seasons, especially last year with 86 points. So we're going to give him a chance to fill in on that second line role and hopefully feed us some offense. I went through, and pretty much that first line is going to be untouchable because they're the only ones that get the +5 boost. I move anybody else up there and it goes immediately to 0. So we're just going to rock with them. They're playing all right. I'd like to see more points production out of Squeen here, but you know, he is maybe hitting the top end of what he can put out on this career. He's maybe being asked to do maybe a little bit too much right now. So we did drop Braden down, or Ricky down, and Braden, we dropped him down as well. He's off the second power play unit now because he is now -19. He hasn't scored any more goals, still somehow playing 18 minutes a night. I don't know how that's happening. Whenever you look at a guy like Juicy Curry and Wyatt Harima here, and they're only playing 15 minutes a night. I have started double shifting our big boys, Brian Patrick and Sergei Malkin, just trying to squeeze everything out of these 32-year-olds that we can. Let me see, contracts wise, yeah, 4 years, 2 years, and we're paying them a lot of money, so we need them to produce. So power play lines is going to be up to them. Hopefully their legs can handle it throughout the long season. Goaltending wise, Sawatsky not doing the best. 11 wins in 29 games. Very bad stats for him. Not too much better for Hommel, but I mean, I'm gonna attribute that to our defense being a little bit lackluster. Like I said, that's where we got hit hardest this last offseason, because around the league, the talent just really isn't there right now. So players who were like an 80 overall, like Wellwood, when he comes up this next year, yeah, you can see right there, to get him back, I had to pay him $5.2 million. So we had a guy who was like an 84 and 83, I think Recchi and some other guys. They wanted like $6, $7, $8 million. I just couldn't do it because we were so strapped to the cap with a couple of our top end guys that it really just killed us. So let's see. Hopefully these line changes can do something for us. One thing I wanted to do as well, now that we're a little bit into the season, is take a look at the draft class, because that is the main focus of this series. So let's take a look here. So we do have Sergei Zadorov from Belarus, maybe? I don't know. You can let me know in the comments. Medium elite, so no franchise guys in this draft, which is a little bit disappointed. Mark Chartrand. That's one of the first times I've seen that name. Braden Hextall. We've seen that plenty of times before. But let's just go through the top of the class, take a look if there's any cool names that we like in here. And I'm just looking at the bottom. So if you guys look at the top and see anybody with a first name that I missed that looks pretty cool, let me know in the comments below. We got Braden Tutu. Braden must be a very popular name because of our boy. Everybody's naming their kids after him. They knew he was coming from years to come, so they wanted to make sure they get their sons named after him as well, the great North Korean legend. But I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot here. A lot of boring names in this class. We have had a couple in the last few that haven't been bad. There's that long ass one again there. Darcy Law. I think he's been in a couple draft classes now, but no, he's only 17, so he might not have been. But let's see by potential here. So we have no franchise teases, unfortunately. Larry Acoin. But we do have, like in our Penguins one, we do have a lot of guys who are possibly listed at elite. We got Parker Fukafuji here. He's been in. Phil Chow. Nice little name there. So we'll see. Maybe some of these guys can be the answer that we need in these next couple draft classes. But it's not looking too good for the league right now. It's a little dry on talent. But let's go a couple more months in and see what the team, if they can turn it around. All right, guys, so definitely our best month of the season right there. You'll see last 10, 8-2, very dominant season so far. And one thing I'm thinking of is it might be a little bit cheesy that I'm double shifting our top offensive boys on the top line, both power plays actually. I mean, it's 2039 is one thing I'll say. The game has maybe changed a little bit. You know, guys, science has maybe moved forward. These guys might be able to play a little bit more. We see it with the Edmonton Oilers right now with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So, hey, who's not to say in 2039 a team can play two of their pairing defensemen on both power plays? You never know. These guys might be taking great care of their body. So let's take a look real quick. How is our power play percentage to the rest of the league? Not great. So it's probably not making the hugest difference right now. It looks like, oh wait, was that the Pittsburgh Penguins that I looked at? No, Pittsburgh DraftKings, 22%. So I thought we were the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm getting that confused a lot. Anybody can, okay, wait, okay, that was just point percentage. I was like, what the fuck is that little number right there? Is there a glitch? But no, so 22%, okay, not bad. Still puts us, oh wait, let's see the rest of the league. I'm only looking at the Metro here. So let's see, 22%. How does that stack us up against the league? Holy shit, Tampa Bay is clicking at a 34% rate. That is insane. So 22% does put us up there pretty high. So that is good to see. I mean, we do got the studs, you know, we got the boys, we got the how you doings, you know, they're out there kicking it up. So that's good to see there. They're not leading our team in points though, which is a little surprising. Goligoski still tearing it up there. 29 goals, 23 assists for him. Brian Patrick, 47 points, and Malkin 39, which, I mean, that's not kind of out of the ordinary. So I don't think it's making too much of a difference. Malkin only taking 5 penalty minutes. That is huge. Let's take a look though. Sort by one of these. How bad? Oh, minus 21, and his line mate's not liking him a lot either. 3 goals and 1 assist still. Ooh, so he's not doing that. I don't see his brother on this list though, so that's good. Let's see where he is at. Ricky Friggin, okay, 6 goals, 5 assists. He brought that plus minus back down, so that is good to see there. Let me see, is Braden still playing a ton of minutes? 17 minutes. Okay, so it's starting to come down a little bit. Might be a little influenced by the beginning of the season, but damn, minus 21. I don't think playing him with a first-year tier player is really helping him at all. So let me see if I can maybe make a quick trade and get in there and maybe get somebody with a little bit more experience to play with Braden right now. All right, guys, while I'm going through these trades, I just wanted to show you kind of what I meant earlier with how we got destroyed in the last offseason with some of our guys. I was going through the teams just to look for one of the D pair that I can trade for, but take a look at the salaries of these guys on the Arizona Coyotes. Christopher Recchi here is actually the guy that we lost. So you see Pittsburgh DraftKings there was a beast two-way defender for us. We loved having him here. He wanted $8 million. Arizona gave it to him, but you can see the rest of the guys that they're paying this 79 overall Caden Bell. They're paying him 5.5 a season. So you can see there kind of how we got destroyed and how our defense just kind of got dismantled. But let me keep going through this, see if I can maybe find somebody on a cheap deal, younger guy. We might have to pay a lot. We'll see if it's worth it, and we'll go from there. Holy shit, guys, this was too good. I couldn't pass it up. Owen Zellweger, 35 years of age, 79 overall. I don't know what his overall was when he signed this deal, but he's making $12.235 million.
And we hold the world ransom for $1 million.
This is the probably new Stuart Skinner of the NHL. I mean, let's take a look at his stats. What's he done the last couple of years? What did he ever do to justify paying him $12 million? What are they thinking? He had what, the 55-point season? And then they said, yo, get him on this team. He probably signed the deal here after he was done with Arizona, went to free agency, and he's been locked up by Carolina ever since. I don't know how they're paying him $12 million. That is probably one of the worst contracts I have ever seen the computer make. But like I said, when the defensive stuff gets down to what it is, and you're paying 72 overall, 1.6 mil, times are tough, boys. Times are tough. 2039, we're not looking forward to it. And also, this is another one of our guys that we had to let go, Magnus Ragnarsson. We loved having him around 80 overall. Boom, $7.4 million on the contract from Carolina. So passing out bad defensive contracts, I guess, is Carolina's forte now here in 2039. All right, guys, so we did go ahead and make our trade. The Buffalo Sabres have given us Per Dackle for one of our medium elite goaltenders that we drafted in the last draft. I believe the guy was like 19 years old, 58 overall, so he'll probably never make it to the league. Per Dackle, he has 2 years left on his deal, so that way we're not going to be super screwed by whenever he asks for $8 million next year and we can't give it to him. Everybody else I was looking through that was on a cheaper deal had 1 year left, so good we're able to pick up this guy. He'll at least be with us for 2 years, so that is a good sign. Defensive defenseman, so hopefully he'll pair well with the offensive style of Braden Friggin there with his explosive statistics. It's going to be interesting to see how that pairs up. I believe Braden played a lot with Christopher Recchi last year, who is also a defensive defenseman, or was he two-way? I can't remember off the top of my head. Probably go back in the video and see. But Dackle, Per Dackle, great name, by the way. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. He looks like a solid player, so hopefully he had some good stats over there with Buffalo. Thank you, the Sabres, for shipping him our way. They owed us a couple favors, so, you know, we got the deal done. How you doing? Keep moving. Let's go a couple months in, see if that trade helps us, you know, crack into the playoffs, because we are knocking on that door right now. As we saw before, we had a great month. 53 points is the bare minimum to get in right now. We're close to that. One thing I noticed as well, and I just want to take a look at this too before we get back into the simulation, was I was going through the defenses of the different teams. You know, we saw Tampa Bay has the best power play in the league right now. I saw their defense. So first of all, forwards, pretty fucking good. 91, 91, 87, 87, 89. So they, 86 on the third line. Wow. So they have definitely put all their chips into the offensive basket because their defense is absolutely dog shit. Jackson Stoner, Austin Holloway, 81 overall, and he is going to be asking for a lot of money this next year, so he'll probably be one guy on the road. But yeah, that is absolutely insane. Askarov there at 36 years old, the new San Jose Shark, leading the way, it looks like, with them. Actually, he looks like they're back up there. 9 wins and 21 for him, not the best. But hey, our goalies don't look the best right now either. But let's see if we can right the ship and get ourselves back into playoff position. All right, guys, so here we are at the trade deadline, and we're actually going to leave the video here for today just because I have a big question to ask. We are currently 2 points out of a playoff spot from our division in that top 3. 67 points for Columbus, 65 for us. We're also kind of knocking on the door for that wild card spot there, although it is quite the race for that second spot. Sabres look like they have that locked up pretty well. So we have a big question to ask. Do we keep going with the North Korean boys on the squad, or is it finally time to end the experiment? Do we sit them down for the rest of the season, put them on the LTIR, and put in some real boys that can play hockey? So let's take a look. How bad is it? Minus 22. He's only got 5 points. He's only had 1 assist since the beginning of the season. Minutes have been steadily declining as well. I know he's not on the power play unit anymore, but man, kind of letting us down there, Braden. You're not doing too well. His brother's not doing terrible. 14 points playing on the 4th line. That's kind of about what I'd expect out of some 4th line production. So maybe Ricky can stay in the lineup, but I think it's time we maybe put Braden on the bench. I think he is he's not worn out his welcome. He will come back in come playoff time, so that is one thing to keep an eye on. He will we'll do 2 or 3 games with our guy that we put in as our replacement and see how he performs and what we want to do. But top of the line is definitely going to be Goligoski, tearing it up. 59 points, 35 goals, so that is huge. But it's kind of like what I said at the beginning of the year. Where is our goal scoring going to come from? And right now it's a little tough sledding there. Only guy with over 20 goals right now. Squeen's right behind him. Brock Ladd's been a little bit of an offensive disappointment for us so far, with him making $10 million, but I mean 87 overall. Kind of had to pay the guy, and he's one of our stalwarts of the team. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what do you think we should do? Is it time? I don't know if we should really make any trades, just because we don't have a ton of assets, and I want to hold on to our draft picks, because that's kind of where we're only going to be able to get better. And like I said, that's the whole point of this series, is just building through the draft. So let me know in the comments, guys. Do we sit Braden friggin'? Like I said, I'll leave Ricky in there because he's playing all right. We don't have a ton of forward depth, so it's one of those things that we'll see how he does throughout the end of the season. I don't think he's killing us a ton, but I think Braden back there on that defense is kind of hurting us. And before we sign off on this one, let me take a quick look one more time at the draft class, see how many elite potential guys we have up at the top end. We have a couple. Okay, so that's interesting. So maybe one thing we could look at maybe doing is tanking for one of these top picks. Tommy Emerton's not looking too bad, huh? But let's see, anything else later in the draft? Okay, goalies. We got another goalie, Leo Schultz. Is he ready to play? Not really, but 4 years, yeah, that's kind of what I expect. He's probably going to be medium elite. Got Joffrey Gilroy here. Yeah, he's not going to be ready. And other than that, it's a lot of question marks. Any low elites that we have fully scouted yet? No, we do not. Oof, so disappointing there. Our scouts, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they need a nice little kick in the ass to get moving. But it looks like a disappointing draft class by all measures. But let me know, guys, in the comments, what do you think we should do with the team? Should we bench the boy, put him down, and see if we can make a playoff push? Or should we just remain, keep the ship steady and hope that things turn around? Although I think we've given him plenty of time to kind of wake up, and I think the experiment might be close to dead. But let me know in the comments, boys, what you think. Like I said, make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate all the support, and subscribe to the channel if you want more gaming content. Thanks for watching, boys. Peace.